Hello everyone, Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you for joining me for another one of my tuppenny techniques. Today's technique is a particular favourite of mine and it's called courting crystal. Now you will notice that I am wearing protective gloves. It's only because I want to keep my hands clean. It's not hazardous in any way, shape or form, but because it does involve wet and runny ink, you need to make sure that your work surface is well covered, and if you've got small children or pets, that they are safely out of the picture, because otherwise you're going to have a bit of cleaning up to do. Now to begin with, I've got a piece of window sheet. Now this is a piece that I've actually cut. I have been known to do this with packaging material. It just needs to be any old bit of acetate that you've got, or anything really that is clear and can see through. Now this particular kind comes with protective covering. I've taken the protective covering off this side I'm going to be working on, but on the other side I've left it on because if there's a bit of seepage or stuff gets underneath it, it will protect the front cover. So the other thing that I'm going to be using is I'm going to be using re-inkers. You could use food colouring, inks, anything that will dry transparent. So I've got Tangerine Tango, Daffodil Delight and Rose Red. I've also got this, which is floor polish. Clear, it used to be called Clear, it's now Pledge Multi-Surface Wax. You can do this with PVA adhesive, which you just water down so that it's nice and runny. The method that I use, I first came across this in Craft Stamper magazine a number of years ago, and they used the floor polish, so I've used that ever since. So I've got a bit of the floor polish in my pot here, and I've got my paintbrush, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a liberal coating. I really want to make sure it's all covered, and I've put this onto a separate little piece of craft mat here, because that means when I've finished I can pick it all up and move it away and have my work free for something else, because this does take a little while to dry. So I've got that well and truly covered. So now I'm going to take my my inks. I'm going to start with a Rose Red. I'm just going to drop that in, not too much of it. Temptation is, because it will run, a temptation is, I made one a while ago and it was really dark, and while it looked lovely and dramatic, it was very difficult. So as the colours meet, they run and they make shapes. If you're the kind of crafter that likes a lot of control, this probably isn't a technique for you, I should say. As you can see, it's seeped off the edge here, and just making sure that it's, you know, it's got a good coverage. Okay. I'm splashing on just a bit more of the floor polish just to get everything. Okay. So I could, if I like now, just put my backing on, which I'm going to be doing in a minute, and just leave it at that, but I want a bit more pizzazz with this, so I've got some clear glitter. You could use any colour of glitter you've got, so if you're doing this in sort of shades of purple and you've got a purple glitter, knock yourself out. Okay, just have fun, just sprinkle it on like salt. And I've also got some mica powder, and I'm going to tap some of that on as well. And again, no science to it, just banging it all on. Just crack it on there. Right, now then, I have a piece of tissue. This could be, I've done this, usually do this with this sort of wrong piece, with this sort of tissue, you know, the kind that you use for packing, but today I thought I'll give it a try with the Common All Garden Kleenex. So I've got a single layer of paper hanky, and this is why I put the gloves on, and I'm just squashing that down, making sure that it's all well pressed in. And now I am going to go away and leave it. I'm going to leave it to just leave it to dry all by itself. Make sure that's well pressed down. Don't put it near a source of heat unless the acetate that you're using is very, very heat resistant. Just leave it somewhere out of the way of heat, not on top of the radiator or anything like that, and just leave it, and we'll come back to it in a little while and we'll see how it's worked. Time for the big reveal. It's been a good few days since I started this piece. So here is the rear view of my piece of coating crystal, and I don't know whether you can catch it there, but there is some bits of mica and bits of glitter showing through, and that's the rear side, and that's quite pretty. It looks like a piece of handmade paper, but when I turn it over, you get to see the full glory. Let me take the plastic covering off, and I think that is really beautiful. Trying to get a shot of it where it doesn't reflect too much on the lights, but you can see I've got bits of the mica. And although it was white mica powder, it actually looks like gold because it's gone into a bit where the yellow was, and I can see bits of glitter. So I'm going to take that away, and I'm going to make a project out of it, and I'll come back and show you what I've made. So here's my bit of coating crystal used in a project, and obviously it's only one very small bit of it. I've got quite a lot left. I've got enough to make quite a lot of these cards actually. All I've done is I've punched out a piece of it using the Sweetheart punch, and it did punch very, very easily. Stampin' Up punches are really, really good quality, and I just stamped the teeny tiny sentiment, which is from the Banner Banter set, which is in the annual catalogue, and there it is, clean and simple card. I don't often do clean and simple, so I hope you've enjoyed this project. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Keren from tuppencecolour.co.uk. Hope you'll join me again soon. Goodbye.